Hi, class. So today I will be talking about my topic on raising a daughter. So basically, my family consists of a 15-year-old named Nevea, and she's the only child to her mother, Tatiana, who is a single mother. She works full and overtime and is their main source of income. Their relationship is not the strongest. They lack communication and they are not very close. Nevea is a heavy set girl, so she's bullied and she's hardly paid attention to at home and at school. So, the challenge that her mother is faced with is that Nevea has actually lost a rapid amount of weight in a short period of time. And I know what you're thinking, this is a good thing. However, her mom noticed that she was consuming like diet pills, cleansing juices, and other dietary supplements. Nevea complains of like feeling dizzy, lightheaded, and she only consumes like 3 low-fat yogurts for all 3 meals of the day. Tatiana works too much to make meals or connect with her daughter, and she doesn't know how to confront her about her concerns without discouraging her to lose weight. But she feels uncomfortable communicating with her and her concerns with her daughter. She doesn't know the steps to take, and she doesn't know how to help her daughter. And so, what Nevea is facing is a eating disorder, specifically anorexia. And so this eating disorder consists of an extreme thinness because of the caloric restriction or purging. Eating disorders like anorexia are actually not super common. They make less than 1% of the population, but 6% of the youth suffer from eating disorders, and 55% of them being girls. So quickly, I will go over the short and long-term effects of anorexia. So that is hormone triggers like amenorrhea, which is a like I believe it is a hypothalamic um, disorder that includes like a drop in leptin, a hormone that is important for adaptation during starvation. They lack that hormone, so they don't know if they're hungry or not. Um, Dizziness and lightheadedness, ulcers, poor circulation due to the irregular heartbeat and slower heart rate, which causes them to be fatigued. And long term consists of cardiac problems because of the poor circulation. They are also faced with cardiac problems, neurological problems like depression, anxiety, substance abuse. They have reproductive issues like infertility, miscarriages, all that bad stuff, I should say. They also have a low bone density, and even though in girls it is most common, they are at even more risk for osteoporosis and osteopenia. In fact, 90% of the patients who suffer from anorexia display visible reduction in bone mass, and about 35% of anorexic patients have a history of obesity. So, eating disorders are chronic illnesses and are life threatening, which is why it really concerns Nevea's mom. And so some of the solutions that were brought up were obviously some professional help. So whether that be interventions, groups, nutritional guide, therapy, it was noticed that psychological and family-based therapy are proven to be the most effective when dealing with anorexia patients, as well as hospitalization programs. So, family based has cognitive and behavioral and dialectical behavioral skills that are encouraged to effectively engage the parent and the child in the therapy. The Body Project is a forum that's actually brought up in high school and college girls to show and to recognize unrealistic appearances, and so that they are able to develop a healthy body image and work on their self esteem. A very common intervention program is a healthy weight program that promotes energy balance to impact lasting improvements in dietary intake and physical activity. And also, eating dinner with family also improves good nutrition with teens who are involved in a meal planning or family routine that makes them active participants during family meals. And that was noted by Brooks. So my book, Queen Bees and Wannabes. The author, Rosalind Wiseman, as a co-founder and president of an Empower program. It's a nonprofit program that encourages the youth to deviate from like culture violence. She speaks throughout universities, corporates, schools, associations like the American Association of University of Women. She's also certified in Harvard University program for young negotiators. She wrote this book, and what I love about her book is that she is very open about dealing with uncomfortable situations and topics that my mom and I avoided because we both felt tension. It's also a great way for parents to confront issues that their daughters face without falling into pitfalls, mishandling problems that will negatively affect the relationship with the parent and the daughter, as well as navigating dynamics that may cause a disconnection between the parent and child relationship. So, in summary, 46 points that really stood out to me were the cultural ideas around femininity, relationships and friendships, standards of beauty, and when to step in. So, I learned that cultural ideas of femininity actually impacts the daughter's self-esteem. Like girls are normed around having an appropriate feminine behavior. Friendships, recognizing the good and bad friends, social status can pressure you or pressure daughters into having sex at an earlier age, consuming drugs, or consuming alcohol, and they seek validation from other girls. The standard for beauty ruins their self worth and image, and it's like a constant battle of obsessing over satisfying beauty standards. They also deal with nasty girls who bully, tease, and harass. And this an important topic to brush on because it impacts the reputation and image that follows them throughout their adolescent years. The book also talked about how daughters will mirror personal standards for relationships through the parents. So making sure that you implicate what good relationships should feel, look, and consist of is something that she brought up in the book that I thought was just very important, especially for young adolescent women. Lastly, getting your daughter the help that she needs when she's displaying like sleeping too much, difficulty concentrating, thoughts of death, feeling of worthlessness, denial of serious of situations like current body weight and rapid loss weight. And so there are actually many signs that your daughter may display that she may need professional help. And as a parent, it's important to know not how to make your daughter feel shameful or weak. So this book acts as a guide for the parents to take practical action. Similarities between Brooks and Wiseman is that Brooks stresses on adolescents incorporating sexuality into their expanding sense of self-developing, meaning they are expanding on their sense of identity. So adolescents like Nevaeh need identity validation by their parents and society. And so that actually ties into Erickson's central concept of development, which is the identity versus identity diffusion, where virtue is fidelity, meaning loyalty to one's choices, whether that be like persons, goals, or ideas. When life events or family members of society are not supportive, individuals may develop a negative identity, a feeling of worthlessness. That was noted by Brooke. Parent support is actually really crucial in adolescence in cognitive, emotional, and social competence. So, as we talked about in solutions, therapies are also integrated with parents being involved because when parents are there, it makes the effectiveness of treatment a lot um, more there's just better results when the parent is involved. So, what we want is for Nevaeh and Tatiana to be as close as possible so that they're able to communicate. And I think that this information from this book is insightful in terms of preparing for parenting. I someday wish to be a mother and I plan to work around children. So Personally, it made me reflect on my life, and I will discuss on some of these topics with my own mother and future children. This book also acts as a guide to know how to process the parenting role, maintain a close relationship with your daughter, learn how to understand that daughters are transitioning, and as parents, we should be there to support, love, and guide them through their journey as mentors and parents. I actually really recommend this book to any parent seeking support, struggling, or need advice when raising beautiful daughters, but also just in general as a good read. I think I learned a lot and I was able to connect a lot of the concepts from the book to our class text and course materials. And yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions, if you found it insightful or anything that you want to comment on, please do so. And I hope you guys have a good weekend.